how do you consistently get such a short lead time? And the other one is, you talked about injection molding you do in like 4 days. Is there anything different about them to one that would take a couple of months?
Good questions. The first one I love. The main reason I love the first one is because this is why our company's cool and what attracted me to it in the first place. One is we wrote the software that makes this possible, and we don't sell the software, we use the software to deliver the solution. The other one is, unlike any other manufacturing facility, at least I've ever seen, and again, like I said, I came from an automotive one, the goal there is run every piece of equipment to maximum capacity that you can, and you'll never achieve more than 84% or something statistically. We stock capacity. So if we hit 60% capacity in equipment, we buy more machinery. So I have capacity sat right now, because someone somewhere in Europe is ordering a one-day turn on a mold tool or a part, and our machine's ready to go. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense for me walking in the door the first day, and it takes a while to make sense. So I'm not trying to win you round with that's going to make sense to you, but the model has worked, and we're a public traded company, so you can go and look at our numbers to prove that it's a kind of a bit of a revolutionary twist on an age-old industry. In terms of your second question, remind me of the detail of that again.
What was the difference between, say, an injection mold that you could do in maybe a week versus one that's taking 3 months to make?
Are you familiar with the terminology soft tooling?
Yeah.
Is that kind of common to people? So soft tooling has been around forever. Soft tooling typically means aluminium tooling. It's called that because aluminium is softer than steel, and injection mold tools are typically made from steel for mass production. The benefit of aluminium is in it being soft. So we machine the injection mold tools, we machine them in aluminium. So the difference is that all our tools are aluminium, we never make a steel tool. So that means we can machine it really quick, and then to support the fact that it's not hardened steel like a normal production tool, is we offer a guarantee on the tool for life. So you can take 25 parts from it and never use it again, or you can take 100 million parts from it. You choose. But the tool will never wear out from your point of view. The only time in a product, in 11 years we've now been doing this in Europe, the only time in a product environment I've ever heard anyone say that aluminium tool kind of was a concern to them was in the mobile phone industry before Apple changed it, where apparently moulding the plastic covers that used to be on your mobile phones, fragments of aluminium, microscopic, could end up in the plastic and could affect the signal. Never heard anything else. But apart from that, the typical concern is the tool wears out. Well, we guarantee it'll never wear out, so you don't have to worry about that. You can focus on your product, your project, and being successful.
You'll guarantee that for any radius?
Yep.
Draft angle?
Anything.
Wow.
It's nothing about the geometry. It's just, you can run 60% long strand Verton through it, 100,000 a year, that tool's never going to wear out.
Yes, I have used the moulding service in the past for about 100 off ABS.
Cool, thank you very much.
Parts which clip together. But actually what impressed me most was the incredible online software and feedback on the design, where it would actually sort of say, that's got to be changed, and you can just change it and resubmit it.
Yep.
And it's just a very economic, fast use of one's own time, and also obviously your time, to come up with something which you will guarantee that you can make it. I mean, especially on things like small radiuses, and, where you've obviously got limitations on tool size.
Cool, thank you. Again, my automotive world was I designed something, and this was a product that would end up on a mass-produced car. I give it to a tool maker, and they would then change it because they needed to put draft on to make it work in a tool because they couldn't make the tool. And of course, by that point, I've had a sign-off from the automotive manufacturer. I've said this is what I'm delivering. I then get the tool made, which costs £250,000, £500,000, £1 million. I then make the product, send them the bits, they measure them and go, it's not to what we approved. That is how the world was. The reason why we say, hey, here are the changes we recommend, be it from our capability or from a manufacturing best practice standpoint, is to keep the control in your hands. Yes, it's a bit more work, you've got to add some draft or tweak some dimensions, but you stay in control of your product design, which is critical as a product designer who's launching a product.
I was wondering how have you seen people's thinking develop around that, and I suppose that's almost where you try to intervene when people think you can just think faster and easier about the product and do it, and how actually maybe we need to actually think more about what we're making and why, and if you almost have
so if we're given a forum to speak, I don't literally like this, but if people will listen to us, what we said all along is start using, not to promote us, but use these tools earlier so you start seeing the feedback, so you start thinking. Because the whole point is, think about everything more at the start. And if you just put that in the human brain, you overload and it doesn't work. But we in Europe have spent 11 years saying it, 16 years around the world. It's that whole thing of consider all earlier rather than design a product for 9 months, a year, 18 months, whatever it's going to take. Go through all the normal things, 3D printing parts works great, the rig works, you think it's going to be good. Then you go to your mass production supplier and they go, hey, I need £250,000 and we can't make any of it. That's the wrong time for that experience to occur for millions of reasons, and I only highlighted 5 of them. So it's to bring all of that forward, and actually, we never want to hear it, but learn it's not going to work, it's the wrong thing, it's awful, sooner, and get over it and move on. And
give up.
Yeah, not give up, move on to the next thing. And that's very different to understanding maybe your customer base or what your potential market is, and they might not want you to move on, but maybe your concept is completely off, move on. Or you're never going to be able to mass produce it, or the best one ever, you only thought you were going to do 1,000 and suddenly 20,000 people want it. Don't let that surprise you, don't let success surprise you, because that's just as painful as failure surprising you, because if you can't meet them, they'll go somewhere else, or the demand will go away, or you'll be the company that let them all down. We're not the answer to all of it, but in our speciality, we're just promoting this whole turn manufacturing on its head and make it work for you guys who are developing stuff.